president wife going overseas, and he just mentioned that when people wife go overseas, they could get blow and some foolishness of that sort. I have never seen Aubrey Norton with a female beside him, Kevon Lorrimer. Where is Mrs. Norton? Is there Mrs. Norton? Somebody could have. Yeah, is he married?
Courdel, Mrs. I think Mrs. Norton is where Edgel built the gate, where he built the road and end. I think she's right somewhere in that compound there. One of
There
them.
you go. Kevon. Where is Mrs. Norton? Where? Where is Mrs. Norton? This guy out of order. Morning to Kevin George. A good guy. You understand me? Out of order. You talking about people who actually accomplish something to get actually accomplish what they put on earth here for. Multiply and reproduce. You have done it, Kevon. You understand? I have not heard of a Mrs. Norton or a Norton Jr. other than the two that's with him all the time. You understand? So how could Aubrey Norton play disrespecting anybody? Talking the blow. You could give if you could give blow now. Anybody want to give blow with you, sir? You talking about who gets in blow and them stupidness instead of you stick to political issues which you're not really good at? That thing upset me. I find that to be so distasteful. You understand me? So distasteful. And until Aubrey Norton could show somebody a wife, he should shut his mouth on certain issues.
And that's a very long waiting.
And then he
waiting for presidency.
He talk about Barjadio and Barjadio shouldn't talk about. At least he had one that we know about. What about you? I'm saying, sir, we don't know. At least for me, I might be ill-informed. So don't let me group everybody in with me. I am saying, sir, we do not know. At least I don't know if you are married, if you have a wife, if you had an ex-wife, or you got children, or like I only know about the two children that people say you carry with you all the time. Exactly. Allege that you carry with you all the time. Let me correct myself. I ain't trying to get liable. I only know of the two children that people say you carry with you, or allege that you carry with you all the time, Kevon.
Norman Brown says so. It's Norman Brown says so. Don't friend me calling it. It's Norman says so. And he and Norman is Christian Borgman alike. They swim alike. Man. Right? So it got some truth. It got plenty truth inside. Plenty truth. Right?
You know, Kevon, you know what what's make women cheat? When they got men who got sons like those that are alleged that Mr. Norton have, that's make them cheat. They don't feel comfortable. You understand? They make them uncomfortable. So the one is like, what do this?
I don't story, but this might be the place to target.
No.
Might be the place to target.
Understand? So you're talking about who is political fools? Norton is the biggest political fool that Guyana has ever seen. Your own party don't appreciate you, sir. Your own party, you shadow minister of legal affairs, Ganesh Maipa, I don't know who you shadow of. And your finance people talking about you and the checks. The recording is of the checks that you're collecting.
And the blank checks.
And they're talking that they're going to vote you out in December. The video is out, brother. The video out there. And they're talking that they're going to vote you out at the Congress. You ain't going, you're not president in waiting for what? You president of the, I heard the GS talk about some Pelori club. But they probably got a president for that already. They want you over there. You understand? Exactly. Kevon, there's trouble in this place, man.
But Courdel, on a serious note, yesterday I mentioned something, right? And it is critical, it is important, and it was also a big slap in the face, or I would have felt real bad if I was within the opposition leader's position, and even as much as his counselors, where we had the Secretary of State had to come here the Secretary of State of the United States of America, had to come
Mm.
here to say to you that Guyana is in dire need of an effective opposition, or a constructive
Hint,
opposition, right?
hint.
Let me, yeah, right? So because um, and I keep saying this, we have to thank God for the present government that we have, because in some other countries, some government would have taken advantage of that, knowing that you don't have an effective opposition to hold them accountable. But thank God we have a government that is honest and is working hard for the people. And you don't even have to ask them for anything. They put it out there, the records is out there. Accountability and transparency is what the people can expect from this administration. But
Mm.
anytime you see we didn't have a government of such, trust me, no opposition, that would be a problem for Guyana. And again, thanks to the government for doing what they're doing for the people. And Guyana, it's gonna be real. It's a sad situation to see that we don't have an effective opposition, because the purpose for effective opposition is not only to hold the government accountable, but also to come together as a team working for the best interests of the country and for the people. Where we can share ideas. You can be
Yeah.
the opposition, I be the government. You might have an idea, I have an idea, and we said, let us put it together. At the end of the day, the people must see that, look, despite what, the opposition and the government is working together. But now, you have an opposition leader who is so childish and immature that don't even wants to shake the hands of the president and all these things, and that is so sad. That is so sad. So we need everybody. And the most saddest thing about it, Cordell, I don't see any other party right now fit to become an opposition. Right? I don't see any party fit, because the only party that had a chance in the earlys was the AFC. And the AFC drowned themselves when they collated with the PNC. They dirty their own water. They dirty their own water.
So
Because
you talking?
if the AFC had remained independent, Cordell, I say this: if the AFC would have remained independent today, they would have been the opposition, because there's no place for the PNC. There's no
Yeah.
place. But
Yeah.
all because of all because of craving for power, and wanted to sit in high offices and drive vehicles and sell firearm license and so on. The AFC decided we're gonna
Pay
collate.
your own company
Right?
to do business at your ministry.
Exactly, exactly. This is the
Randomly
thing.
drop
So,
on.
and now the AFC has now become a KFC. There's nothing else about the AFC anymore, and that's a sad situation as well. So, um, you know, now I guess the PPP might have to create their own opposition as well and put it in the parliament, because it's only the People's Progressive Party is the only party I've seen had
Kevon,
one of the strongest and the best opposition in this country.
Kevon, let me tell you something. I've seen this. The PPP, on occasions where the opposition just walk out of parliament, the MPs would usually question the ministers or the subject ministers on the
Mhm.
spending in the ministries. When the opposition walk out, right now, that has literally happened. The PPP does got be their own opposition. It does happen. It has happened. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and research one of the instances and just stream it on the platform so persons can see where you have PVP MPs, backbenchers, and so questioning the subject ministers on the spending, why this, why that, why this increase. You understand?
Mhm.
When the opposition, who is paid, who was elected to be in opposition, walk out to parliament. So they've got this. Once they're transparent, they still got to like be accountable to themselves, so that the
Exactly.
Guyanese people could see. Because the opposition don't even want to do their own work. They're throwing down mace. They're lying down with the pants open in the parliament. Most of them sleeping during the sessions. 2 hours in, after half of them going gone, out cold, right in the parliament, because the AC loud in there. You
Walking
understand?
around blowing whistle.
Stupidness, bare stupidness, bare stupidness. You spoke about the AFC just now. Good morning to Councillor Diarmas. You spoke about the AFC just now, and I just wanted to add. I saw the last press conference, and David Patterson was saying the General Secretary for the PVP, Dr. Jagdew, would have said that the PVP would have won 100% in Georgetown. At no time he said that, sir. I am challenging you to play the clip. All its press conferences are aired live, they're online. At no time did the vice president and the general secretary of that party say that they would win Georgetown 100%. At no time. I don't know where you're getting that information from. And I'm challenging you. And that sometimes just get vexed with some of these reporters because some of this information is out there. It is out there. Reporters attending press conferences, they got this information. So when that is said, how are you not challenging it right there and then? To say, so where was this? When was this? Could you provide a date? You understand? Which press conference? Could you provide a transcript? Something. We are allowing people to make wild statements without questioning them. You understand me? So Aubrey Norton again, I wanted to touch on this. He spoke about the PvP instilling fear in people. Kevon, what nonsense Aubrey Norton talking? I don't want to vilify the PNC, but that party could be deemed the most violent party in this country.
That is facts, Courdel. That is facts. They have a track record of that. They have a track record.
Nowadays, you get a peaceful protest from them. Nowadays. But usually, it's burn down, broke down, rob up, loot up, them kind of thing. And I ain't even saying nowadays anymore because we just had Monrepo. You understand? We just had Monrepo. And a totally non-political matter that they turn political. You understand? People, please get burned down, people get robbed, people get beat. My friend who the sell at border, this man come to town to sell his shallot and celery. You understand? Shallot and celery, sell eating. He ain't involved in nothing, Kevon. Making his way back home. They attack him, lash up his boss, coffee in his face, that kind of thing. Just because he's an Indian. You understand? Just because he's an Indian. And that's an Indian who had nothing to do with any issue you are dealing with or upset about at the time.
Exactly.
Right?
Courdel, so, Mr. Alfonso, before you go on, Courdel, Mr. Alfonso Diarmas, please check in your messenger. I sent you a message there. If you want still, just check in your messenger. Yeah, Courdel, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So how could Aubrey Norton stand on a platform and see the PvP instilling fear in people? Not more than the PNC, because as soon as the PNC can get its way, it ain't going to the court, it ain't going to the station, going to the streets. You understand? And it's always a threat to go to the streets and to block down and to stymie government and to stop this and to stop that and nonsense, Aubrey Norton. Foolish. That is why you will be voted out of the Congress. They don't want you there. Risedale got aspirations. Amanza got aspirations. Christopher Jones, who they're wrong, their eons now got aspirations. You think they want, and they're looking for younger leadership, brother. They want you. You can't even smile at your people. You can't even smile at your people.
Chris smile.
And Risedale could smile. The man, I think he said something like the election day when the people asked him from the polling station, could you smile for the vote? I think he said his face don't allow you to do it or some stubbornness like the brother. I'm gonna look for the video as well. I don't think I run a mad man. If anybody remember that in the comments, just let me know if that is what was said. His face don't allow you to smile or some stubbornness like that. Sorry, no. Aubrey Norton is ridiculous. He is
angry
ridiculous.
Boy. I call him an angry boy. The man's vexed with nothing by it. The man's vexed. The man is vexed because he's a political leader.
The worst protests in this country. The worst protests in this country are done by the AP and UF, the AP and UFC, PNC, all y'all. So much letters. You understand? The worst protests where people are maimed, people die, people get raped, people get beat up. robbed, the vehicle get burned up, all kind of stupidness. All kind of
Mm-hmm.
that is instilling fear in people. Because you're saying there, if you don't support the PNCAP and UFC, we'll beat you up and burn down and break up the place. So you have to. And that
But
according to the constitution, we have a choice.
but Cordell, when you spoke about that, right? Yesterday, for a matter of fact, let me see if I can pull it up. Yesterday, I saw something was sent to me by a businessman who
Yeah,
was
me that too.
technically technically forced to make a donation by
Yeah,
the now mayor elect, right? I think I
Martin, you
saw
want
that.
no problem.
You
Martin, you want no
you have the
problem.
conversation that you could put up there
Yeah, I got
because
it here.
we want people to know when we come here we don't talk with water in mouth, or we don't come here to lie to people. There's a WhatsApp conversation that was circulating. Um,
Mm,
let me see if I have it here quick, so the person
I
can
have it.
see.
I just got get it in the right chat. I see a news report come out by Fred Burke too. So look, look. They say Guyana is not a real place, but I think it's the Guyanese. Some of these Guyanese. Oh my God, Ricky, Ricky. If that is true, sir.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
I.
And the
Oh my
buy
goodness.
is like though.
Oh my goodness.
Um,
Who cool this
I
man?
sent you the there, Cordell. You could check it. You could check it and probably upload it so the viewers can see for themselves that this is an authentic conversation. Um, right, by a businessman,
Look,
and
y'all is
and the
trouble.
and the now
Y'all is
mayor
trouble in
elect
this place.
was
Listen,
literally bullying the man. You know,
oh boy. Yeah,
and
morning job doing by take out to OPM. They're doing some training there at the um jeez, what's the name of the school? Bishop St. Francis, a primary school. They're doing some IT training for the youths up there. Morning to you guys, continue the good work. I think they're also hiring somebody from that community to train them to carry on the courses and stuff. Sorry about that, Kevin. Go ahead.
yeah, right. So, yeah. So you get the conversation there. You got it.
Yeah, it's uploading.
Yeah. So, Carla, Mr. Alfonso will be joining us just now to give us a little discussion. All right, guys. So, look at this you have the new mayor called me and told me that it is my interest to contribute to the APNU victory rally. Y'all could continue the conversation, read it for yourself. And this is an authentic WhatsApp text by a businessman. We choose not to put the man number up there, right? So,
Of victimization. You
victimization.
understand me? These guys are unbelievable. What he meant by it's in your interest. That's a threat. What you mean? It's in your interest. We controlling the city. We gonna make
The
your
man
life
just give them,
difficult. You know,
man
you
just
know,
give them a
you know,
20.
you know. A persons might say how uh the mayor could put pressure on a business person, city business person. They could put a no parking sign in front of your building. You
Exactly.
understand me? They could put all types. They could put a fire hydrant there or something, so people can't come and access your facility. You understand? The few times that actually collecting garbage, you can leave your garbage right out there in front of the place a week. Them kind of thing. I could harass you. They could harass you. So
And,
don't think they easy in there. Don't think they easy in there.
and
It's
Cordell,
a possibility.
I keep saying this to persons. This is the modus operandi of the PNC, and they operate. I've seen it. Remember, I worked with these people, and I've seen it, and I can recall two particular ministers. And not to, we won't get labeled, but I recall incidents of such. I can recall one of those ministers said to the businessman, right? And I wouldn't find to call the businessman name, right? Because it's the same businessman they robbed the man over 160 something $1 million for the cleanup in Georgetown, Chung's Global, and up to now the man never get paid. Up to now, but yet the money was budgeted for, the money was budget for, and The monies were paid, but we didn't know where it went, right? And Chunks Global, the man never get paid. The man never get paid. And I remember one of the ministers said to the same man, when you come in to visit me, your consultation fees should be nothing less than $1 million in cash, right? And I'm
What?
saying this to you. This is the level of corruption, and this here I can attest to this. Right? I don't frighten. I wouldn't frighten to. I wouldn't frighten to deal with it because I know Courdel, and I was like, what? When I think about it, I said, what? I done calculate in 5 years by $1 million per month consultation. You know what? These people have
That's probably some
consultation
of
fee,
them. That's how some of them able to build some of these houses to live in now. You
and,
understand? So coming back to Annette,
and this is why I say
and
yesterday, Courdel. This is why I say yesterday on the program, the APNU was more function as a company, not a government. You know, you had your investment for the Ministry of Social Protection, so that would be your ministry. I had my investment for the Ministry of Armenian Affairs, that is my ministry. So you, despite even if you are the president, you can intervene in my ministry because I pay for that. I invest. So
right,
that is when Guyana was for sale, Cordell. And the APNU Guyana was for sale because every ministry, if you check it, you have ever seen any minister got moved from that government on only those who were moved. I think yeah, they were moved because when the Honorable Gil Teixeira brought forward the motion of dual citizenship, that is the only thing that moved them. I think it was
mm,
one or two of them, Harmon and somebody else was moved. That was the only thing. But otherwise to that, you think Granger could have moved anybody? Granger had the power, those people invested. So Guyana was for sale then. Guyana was for sale then. You understand? So when you're going in to visit to these business entities, not ministries, you have to walk with your consultation fees. Nothing less than $1 million.
yeah, yeah. So, Kevin, just give me a minute. I just want persons to see what Annette has transitioned to in 5 years as a PNC um, minister. You understand me? Even with minister salary, I want to show y'all these gates. And I ain't joking. And it ain't easy. And it's on some program she got. I gotta check it out. Um, talking about she not rich. If you see this house, she could fit all the people that been at the rally, Kevin. All the people that was at the rally at at Stabrook or wherever they had it could have fitted on its house now. You understand? And I gotta show y'all. I got to show y'all. I have to. I can't let these things slide. Because these people dishonest. They dishonest. They are dishonest. Let me show y'all what's going on. So I got the first one. And now let me take the big house to show you now. What people like you know, things at all. Because they're very disrespectful. And I think it's disrespectful to the Guyanese people. That she coming to play a pit of righteousness. You understand me? And she's not. That has increased um, and mind you, this house was built only 2 years after she became a minister. So where you had this money hidden on it? Where you had this money hidden? That's what I'd like to know. So, okay, that one is almost finished uploading. So this first house that I'm about to show you is where Annette used to live with some relatives. Not just she alone, with relatives as well.
Mhm, mhm.
Right? So this was Annette's old house. As a I think she used to work at the Guyana Post Office Corporation or something. Postmaster, post something or something like that. Right? That's where Annette used to live. The video, the new place showing, and I'd like you people to see the transition. And if that is not corruption, I don't know what is. Kevin, just let me do this before we bring on Mr. Diarmas. I don't like to mix them in this when abusing. And yes, abusing. Abusing. And people who know me know I like to abuse. And abusing with evidence too. So again, while the other video upload, this is where Annette Ferguson used to live. And to any Guyanese, average Guyanese, this is damn okay. You got a nice upstairs. This look like either 2 or 3 bedroom house. You understand? You could enclose it downstairs if you need to. You understand if you want to expand and them kind of thing. This video taking so long to upload. But I just needed to show y'all. But jeez. As I finished abusing after Mr. Yarmus, I want got you waiting in the background there. You know, he's a busy guy.
All right, guys. So we have Mr.
No, wait. It done.
It done, Lord? Let me see.
Hold on, Mr. Yarmus. We can run the lecture over time to facilitate. Because we call you last minute. It's processing. Partner, I got Annette new house from all angles. I want y'all to see what's going on. Just give me a second. Processing. Y'all share the live so people can see how Annette living. Share the live. Right? So let me look at it now. Here we go. Y'all see what's going on.
Wow.
Y'all see what's going on with Annette.
Oh, wow.
Please, people, do not let Annette Ferguson come out here and lie to you.
Wow.
Annette Ferguson has enriched herself. You understand? In just 2 years, after 2015, 2016, 2017, the house was built. You understand? And you see, I elevated her to postmaster. According to the video, she was a clerk in public service. Where you get that money from? Which bank lending you that, friend? With what collateral?
But Courdel, isn't she one of those who failed to submit her list at the Integrity Commission?
Of course.
Well, you see now Guyanese can see why she cannot declare, because you have to answer to the people how you move from this to this. You are answerable to the people. Don't feel that you're not answerable, because only a few years. My wife and I had a conversation about the same thing. I was showing her how the Integrity Commission works, and they calculate your assets before you goes into government and when your time is up. And most of these people, bro, I'm telling you, anytime they should do. I saw somebody ask about auditing. Sorry. Anytime they should go into things like this, trust me, a lot of these new politicians go into jail for corruption. A lot of them.
These same people who play the righteous on these programs, they are living much better than their followers in the party, Kevon. Exactly. They're living much better than them. And a lot of the money that could have go to them when they were in power, you understand me? They take for themselves. They could do a lot more for Sapphire, for All Boys Town, for Linden, for Beirut. They could have regularized there. I think it was 1,000 a little piece of time or something. Why should we regularize Beirut?
Exactly.
This why I want people to remember. You understand? She regularized Beirut, but she regularized herself into that big mansion there. That big mansion. Somebody should do a flyover now to see the pool and all the other stuff inside there yet. You understand? So that's how Annette living. Simona Bruce, that she's trying for places, a woman of the people. Yeah, it's okay, Richard. It's okay. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. It's not for people like you. It's for everybody else and all the other Guyanese right? Who get treated terrible 2015 to 2020. And these people now coming to play the righteous and talking about who this and who corrupt and who corrupt. There's no one more corrupt than the PNC and the ministers and Grange and all of them. You will see Grange didn't even come out to the rally. That rally at the victory rally. Grange is doing such stupidness no more, you know. Granger don't want nothing. Granger represented. Granger come out and get one stupid speech that when you have 13 LAs, you understand? He come out to rally.
I sure there was a bully too. You
Look,
making joke, you feel great. You got time the man driving the Lexus, the man got time to follow a bunch of
I
clowns.
know. Granger
A bunch of
biding his
clowns like
time.
Richard Bob just joining the live here this morning to talk.
Yeah, but welcome, Richard. We glad
let
you're
us
here.
bring in our
Yeah, bring in Mr. Diarmas. These people ridiculous. They got victory. They got victory party and that nonsense. Oh, you waiting on me to do it? Okay. How you doing, Chief?
Hi, morning. I'm
How's
good,
you
guys.
up?
How are you guys doing?
Not too bad. So, give us an idea what it's been like so far. You've had the selection process of the mayor. I was talking with former Mayor Patricia Chase Green and Mr. Dion Young yesterday, and they would have highlighted the opposition. Well, the APNU councillors and mayor are deviating from processes and protocols or at there at City Hall. What's your take on it? And
Well,
mind you, before you begin, sir, for the viewing public, this here is Alfonso de Armas. This gentleman here beat the mayor, Mr. Mentor, at these LGE elections. And Mr. Mentor gets still get put on the list and still get voted as mayor. He didn't even win in his area.
you got to put a more critical word than beat, man. Something like whooping or something, you know.
Trashing. This is the gentleman that trashed Mr. Mentor. Trashed him
Nice.
in his
That's how more critical.
constituency.
That's how more critical.
Yeah.
I still mentor make me up. Corruption again. Imagine
Trouble.
corruption. But Mr. Alfonso,
Trouble.
I'll go to you, brother.
good morning, guys.
Good
Yes.
morning.
Well, it's been we're not holding on the PPP side. We're not holding our breath. We have we've made promises to our constituents, and we intend to follow through on those promises, regardless of whether our PNC, our opposition, our APNU compatriots are interested in transforming Guyana or not. I did see with some form of contentment. And I was there. I was present when the mayor-elect did offer to bury the hatchet and to work with us. But then they subsequently decided to exclude most of us from the finance committee. So we're going to see what happens on the next statutory meeting on the 14th to see whether they truly intend to work with us,
right,
or whether it's just more talk. There's a lot of talk going on in the PNC side, and not a lot of action. We saw that in the 2015 to 2020. A lot of nice words about decade of development. We saw no such thing. So we're not really holding our breath.
Man, listen. I saw a couple of your counterparts, candidates still working in these communities. You when you look at the victory parade that they had over the weekend, and you're an educated individual, you look at the victory parade they had, you look at the seats that they lost or the council. How do you how do you contrast the two? Like, to me, it's not connecting. I would have been a little worried and trying to get back on the ground and meet with the people and see where I could do better or something. You understand? But it's like they think that they won the council wholly and solely, and that's the end of it.
It seems to me like they're celebrating mediocrity.
As usual.
Yeah. There's nothing really to celebrate. If I were on the other side, I would be worried about the future of the party. How are we going to do? How are we going to gain more seats in parliament, and also in council? How are we going to reclaim what we've lost? But it seems that they're satisfied with where they are and to continue to lose seats and to celebrate their their mediocrity. So we leave it right there. They want to celebrate while we move forward and while we transform Guyana, transform people's lives. That's fine. That's great.
Yeah.
Guyana needs to be transformed anyway. We can't celebrate the status quo. The status quo isn't enough. We're an oil-producing nation. We're a nation that has a dynamic leader, dynamic young leaders, and we can't just be satisfied with the way things are. It seems like they're happy with that, but we're not. We're not.
I wanted to ask you, have you had a chance to gauge the caliber of councillors there on the other side? Because I got a couple of people there that I know ain't fit. They ain't fit. And I ain't going to express what they ain't fit. But have you had a chance to gauge some of the people you're sitting across from you that you'd have to deal with?
Well, I met most of them for the first time at the swearing at our first meeting. It seemed that some of them came in bent on opposing. They came in decided, yeah, we're gonna show them who's boss, right? But then there are others that seemed, they're more seasoned campaigners. They've been there a while, and they know that it's important to work together to get things done, at least for your constituents, if not for the entire city. And so I wouldn't say that I don't want to characterize all of them as unfit or they're some of them are doing the best with the little in terms of leadership, because they point to lack of resources as an excuse for their results in the elections and their lack of progress when they've controlled City Hall. But that is not an excuse. So I think some of them are there. They're making do with the poor leadership that the PNC has, and I hope we can work with them. I don't want to come here and beat the war drum and say, "No, we ain't working with nobody." There are guys there who I met for the first time, and they don't have good leadership there in their ranks. I just want to say that they don't have good leadership, and I think they recognize that. They don't say much. You're gonna have solidarity with the party, whatever that means to them. The party clearly doesn't have solidarity with them, but that's an internal discussion for them. Right?
So Mr. Ashby would have spoke of at one point they were electing, I can't remember what committee or if it was from here. Some of the APNU councillors voted for PPPC councillors. Did that actually happen?
Yes. Don Singh, who's actually he's a very, if you know him, and I'm sure you do, it's hard to dislike him. And so he was overwhelmingly voted into the finance committee.
I know Stacey that don't like you at all.
Dancing got manners. But
yeah, you're telling us.
Despite his lack of manners, he was voted overwhelmingly into the finance committee of 27.
Right.
So he was the only one in a committee of 7. He's the lone PVP voice in there, and that's a very important committee. That's an extremely important committee. It's a statutory committee, and unfortunately, while the rhetoric is about burying the hatchet and working together, you can see already that they've already begun to exclude the PVP councillors from important committees and from the decision-making bodies of the council. It's important you can't reconcile the rhetoric about burying the hatchet at the same time and working together at the same time. The actions don't match those words. So there's this.
Right. So Kevin, I'll just take over a little bit. I'm gonna try to see if I get somebody else to just pop in for 2 minutes.
Okay. So, Mr. Alfonso, one of the thing I know for sure, right, is that I really it's not like if you want to wish this on them, but because of the kind of leadership we know that they have presently, and we know what we have to deal with, there's nothing good to expect from the side of the opposition or the PNC APNU. Yes, you made a point there that I agree with you. They might have persons in there who are competent, who are willing to work on their side, but because they're overshadowed by incompetent leadership, they're overshadowed by people of a different mentality, not for development, that will now stifle them, that will now keep them below. And it is I believe that what Georgetown can expect, or the municipality of Georgetown can expect, the only development that will be coming to Georgetown is from the People's Progressive Party side councils or councillors, because I know you guys are out there and ready to work and do the best, and that is why I believe even the 11 that you guys have can do far much better than the majority that they have. Right, so it, even though they want to shut you out or they want to say things, I believe that you guys have the potential and you guys are going to make a difference, and you guys have the perfect opportunity here to make an impact for coming 2026, where we can see the People Progressive Party Civic a possibility taking full control of that
Yeah,
municipal for.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
I think as councillors we need to be very proactive. I know in my constituency, we've already started doing works. We've done some roads. We repaved Danrad Street. We repaved the Silver Street, Barim Avenue. But more than that, though, waiting on city council to do things in the area, just simple things like maintenance, the grass is gonna become a jungle by the time they get there. So we've actually had to pay out of pocket to keep our parks cut, to cut the grass, to do weeding in our parks, to pick up some garbage from a newly installed culvert. I was so disappointed to see that we just installed a new culvert on Diablo and Garnett Street, and I turned up there the other day just to, I like to take a look. I like to walk through the constituency to see, to talk to the people and to see what else we can do. And I noticed a whole bunch. Somebody dumped a bunch of garbage in that culvert,
mm,
and I know it was going to be useless to wait for city council to come and work with it. So I actually worked with somebody from the community there, and we worked together to get the garbage clear.
yeah,
That's what we intend to do, is to really get a lot of buy-in from the community to keep our spaces clean. Just because the bureaucracy and the system there at city council, I've only attended one meeting, but I already know it's not designed for development. It's designed to stifle. It's designed to frustrate, and it's designed to be corrupt.
yeah. Mr. Richard, Bob, please don't go anywhere. I will address you shortly. Go ahead, Kevon.
You're on mute, bro.
You might.
Yeah, Cordell, sorry about that. That's just that's just the view I wanted to share, is that there is nothing good to expect out of the opposition side of the mayor, deputy mayor, and councillors. Despite, like I said, I want to be clear. I'm not saying to those councillors on their side, the few, especially the new ones, that you are incompetent. It's just that you have fallen to the wrong place and the wrong time. You're on the wrong side, because Cordell, I foresee, and I'm going to put that on record today. I foresee at least 3 or 4 of those councillors will not complete their term. They will not complete that 3 years, because I believe they think they have gone there for a good, and they have already seen it from the beginning here that this is not the right place, and those councils will not sit and accept those things. They're going to
Yeah,
fall out. They're going to drop out of that council, right?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I believe the younger generation today are wise enough to see that Guyana is on the verge of development, moving forward, and they can see young people are benefiting. So
yeah,
I wouldn't sit here to abuse them out. But the older folks, the older one, are like the mayor elect himself. We can see, like, Councillor Alfonso would have said, he spoke of burying the hatchet, but yet he's doing something else. You understand? He's doing opposite of what he's saying. He's speaking with two tongues. So
Kevon, sorry, I don't want to. I'm not here. I don't want to abuse the Mr. Mentor. I have a good. I think. What did I say about Mr. Mentor? I think we'd like to work with him. I'm speaking for myself. To get things done. Again, he's not the leader. He's not in charge of his party. So a lot of that, it's going to come down to the party leadership and party policy. But I don't want to abuse. I don't want to come here and abuse the mayor. Like, I want to put it on record that we would love to. I know that if he's open to it, we would love to. I mean, the transformation of Georgetown is important, right? It's paramount to us. So he did speak about burying the hatchet and working together, and I hope that we can work together with him.
Okay.
Yeah. So all I could do is encourage you guys to make sure that Georgetown is continues on the development path that you guys would have started on as candidates, and continue with your good work there. Continue to be the counselor we're expecting you to be. Ensure that there's transparency, ensure that there's development, ensure that there's accountability at the council level, especially with those persons there on the other side. So this is Councillor Diarmas. Thank you again for joining us this morning on the program. I know it was short notice, but we appreciate you coming out. Anything before we let you go?
No, well, I wanted to thank you guys for having me on. I know this was impromptu. It was quite ad hoc, and I do want to again extend that olive branch from our side to our opposition councillors. I know that many of you mean well for your constituencies, and like Kevon said, sometimes we just happen to be on the wrong side of history.
Exactly.
But I do want to extend that olive branch over to our compatriots on the opposite side, and I look forward to working with you for the transformation of Georgetown.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you again for popping in. Yeah. So that's Councillor Alfonso Diarmas. He is currently sitting on the Georgetown City Council. Before I go, however, I have something I want to touch on that I saw in the comments. Mr. Richard Bob was speaking about where is it? Okay, so here it is. The PPP is going to go down as the worst ever regime. This regime is that part of the world. Okay. Right?
Before you even start, right? I want to know. I don't believe this is a typo error. It's just that the level of illiteracy of Mr. Bob. Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
Why can't people live in a secure country? Guyana is a failed state. And then this one here that jumped out at me. He spoke of. Hold on. Where are you, Richard? Where is the wealth going? So let me explain to you. Richard, first of all, I don't know what you determine as a failed state, but if it's a case where you have a pandemic and you have a facility with no equipment in it to take care of the persons in that country while the pandemic is raging, that considers to me as failure. Not having any vaccines for anybody at the time, I would consider that as a failure. Not delivering on the promises that you made in your manifesto in 2015 to the young people, to the old people. That I would consider as a failure. You understand? So if we're looking at a failed state, we could consider that between 2015 to 2020, when persons were literally had nothing, suffering. You understand? And persons flying to different parts of the country and rolling out green carpets for them to walk on. A failed state is when you fire 2,000 indigenous persons. A failed state is when you fire about over 6,500 sugar workers. Right? That is a failed state. A failed state is when you don't do anything for your strongholds. All boys songs, fire. And I keep pounding them in your ears because that you claim those were your people. Right? Barticker, those places that you didn't look out for. That is when we had a field state. So let's move on to where is the wealth going, Richard Bob. The wealth from the gas, the oil and gas that we have now, sir, is going to infrastructural development, education. So you notice we had a couple of schools burned down, and I want to blame the PNC, but people talking. I won't blame y'all, but the talking. You see the new schools that are being built. You see the one that was recently commissioned in Essequibo, the Abramsville Secondary School. You see South Rumville that is being rebuilt. You see the 12 hospitals that are under construction, the new stadium at Palmyra, the gas to shore project that will lower electricity, lower cooking gas costs, allow us to export cooking gas, Richard Bob. That's where the wealth is going. The wealth is going to finish the synthetic track that the opposition couldn't do. With the toilet that the opposition councillor lied about in Linden, that they said they didn't have. The money is going to the road that in Kevon area that will connect you with Brazil. So you can drive his car, you can jump in his car, you ain't got to get a pickup. You ain't got to go and hire a bush truck, Richard. Right? That's where the money is going. That is where the wealth is going, Richard. The wealth is going to all of those bypass roads that you see happening from the East Coast connecting to the East Bank. It's going into the 4-lane expansion. Remember the East Bank 4-lane road that the PVP built before 2015 that y'all didn't add anything to? Right? You remember the 4-lane East Coast road that y'all couldn't finish? It is being extended to facilitate the increase in traffic. So, Richard, that is where it's going, brother. Go ahead.
And Courdel, mind you, don't leave out that Linden will be having a brand new 4-lane bridge. That's where the money is going.
That brand new bridge.
And mind you, don't forget to remind him that our children will be benefiting by 2025, and even it might be more than $50,000 per child.
Kevon, I was walking my. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I was walking my way down. Now I see Mr. Quincy Anderson just reminded me, Richard. You know where the money goes? The new Harbor Bridge, but not the new Harbor Bridge, the new Demerara River crossing.
Exactly.
You understand me? That is where the money is going. I span not with that trillion nonsense Patterson do consulting for. That is where the money is going, Richard. Because we care. You talk about why Guyana. Let me pull up this one to talk about living in some safe space and some stupidness. You know why we feel a little safer now? Because it's less likely for the joint services to take a bribe because they get in the bonus.
Exactly.
Right? Less likely. Me saying they ain't gonna take a bribe. Me saying they ain't gonna take a bribe, Richard. But it's less likely because they get in the bonus. And you know what? The president raised the pay. So those are the money going from, I think it was from corporal go up and how much years in the service, nurse's salary get paid, midwife's salary get paid, pension get increased. You understand me? The UG fees that you all raise at UG, sir, the money going to make UG free. You understand me? The scholarships for gold. Somebody got to pay for it. Why is it free for the country? Somebody got to pay for it. Right, Richard? Somebody has to pay for it because they got instructed at university overseas. Somebody has to pay. The government standing the bill, Richard. Government standing the bill. Feeding program for children. Housing projects, coal homes, cement and steel subsidy, Richard. Fertilizer for farmers, Richard. Cash grants for fucking Richard. That's God for push your phone.
Courdel,
That's
if
God
if
for push your phone. This is very
if we should go on and on, we would go whole morning, and people like Richard, these people come
why.
here. I know what was one of the, was one of the sad situation here. Richard Bob ran away from Guyana under the PNC regime and never
I'm
came back.
talking. I'm talking.
Never came back. Up to now, he still lives in the people country over there. Rotted up his mouth. Never come back. He couldn't even come back under the coalition tenure, right?
Pardon.
And he's there talking. He started
So
talking trash.
it's not a Jaguar or a Ramatar or a Irfan Ali running out. It's either a height
Is
or
he
a no,
exactly?
what your worries?
It's the
You
own PNC people
understand?
ran him out. I know the individual who spoke to me about this personally. When Carwin Holland was me in Linden, you say Mr. Bob called me to complain how Carwin do this, how he's a liar, he's this and this. And now he's here trying to cause the PPP when everything for the benefit of people, for the livelihood of Guyanese, for the betterment of their lives is so visual, right? He's here now trying to cause the
Oh,
PPP,
where is the well going?
right?
You are out of order, sir. You understand? And you should be
Way
ashamed
out of order.
to say that you want to know where the wealth. You know where the wealth went? To Kingston Seawall there and the do over and make the place nice. That City Hall is supposed to look after. That's
These
where the wealth
people,
going.
these people,
That's
these
where the
people,
wealth going, brother.
these people are shameless. You
The
understand?
well going to them
These people
solar
are
farms, the
shameless.
government building in the regions and indigenous communities so that those communities are on par with the coastline. They got 24-hour light and them kind of thing. That's where the wealth is going, Richard. You understand? And it wasn't going there in 2015 to 2020. It was going in people's pocket. It was going in people's pocket even more. Right now, Richard, if you Aubrey Norton spoke about the ERC and they should look at matters relating race that we are in the country. Right now, Richard, there are more Afro-Guyanese contractors than ever before
Exactly.
under any previous PVP government and under any PNC government that they had, Afro-Guyanese contractors. I can tell you that for a fact. We could show you numbers. We could, and that's the thing. Richard is the next one. Sometimes I just want to invite these people on the live to hear them back up the
They
statements
won't. They
that they've
won't
been
come on.
making.
They won't come on.
You understand, partner? The dialysis subsidy to persons who got to do the dialysis. Richard, that's where the money is going. That is where the money is going. These it's Hess. Morning to Mr. Jacobs out of Bartico. One of the organizers of the event there. Hess, whoever buy the carbon credits, you understand me? That's through prudent leadership and management by this government that good sending
Exactly.
money to indigenous communities. I hear you, Abdul, but I just gotta check them. I don't like to come in my comments and talk nonsense and they got nothing to back it up. Because I
Exactly.
could talk whole day on what this government doing to him. Whole day, whole day, whole day, whole day, whole day. You understand? So back up yourself, Richard Bob. You
Back up
back up yourself. You got me on here after program time just to deal with you. You understand? Thank you, Miss Chatterpal. All these wells are drilling all over. The people in the comments don't deal with you, Richard. I done with you. I done with you. Because the people in the comment section got you. Yes. Morning again to Mr. Jacobs and Miss Beverly Jacobs there in Bartica. Those they call this guy the deputy mayor in Bartica up there. You understand? Everybody know this man, the right Jacobs. Everybody know this guy. I wanna tell you, the man is a hard-working individual. When I tell you he worked hard on that day, setting up the event, running off the games, making sure everybody comfortable, everything was in place for Minister Teixeira and Minister uh, PM, PM, PM's arrival with his wife and acting president, Delroy, along with Mr. Ward's wife and the whole team. Excellent, excellent work, excellent work. Y'all guys had a lovely event. I felt the love. I felt the love. I saw the love Here in Bartik as well. I felt it and I saw it. Bartik is a wonderful, wonderful place, and I could see nothing but good things happening in the future of their development. You have the council and the RDC can now work in tandem to move that community forward, along with the national development agenda that we have seen. So Minister Prag and Minister Tishir were there a few months back to launch the certificate program for persons who wouldn't be able to do like the diploma and the degree courses, but wanted to upskill themselves and diversify. As you know, Bartik is mainly mining. So a lot of persons were interested in getting tourism training and catering and those kinds of things to diversify their means of income in that area. So I'm going to be on the ground there a lot, and I'll definitely bring those developments to you guys in relation to what's happening there. Hearing Ward, the REO, and the mayor-elect, Mr. Anthony Murray. I expect nothing but good things coming out of those guys up there, Kevin.
All right. So Courdel, I guess this morning we had a lot to share this morning. I really like the idea that it's not that we wanted to respond to persons, but when they come here, we don't abuse them out. What we do is address them, and we address them with the facts. You understand?
Kevin,
Is with the
Kevin,
facts
please
we
don't
address
speak
them.
for me, sir. Please don't speak.
We
I like
address
responding. I like responding. So if you don't,
them.
I like responding because I can respond and I know they can't respond to me. I
Exactly,
can talk about
exactly,
the subsidies that the taxes that they put on them over people that the PVP remove on the water and the electricity.
exactly,
I
exactly.
can go on the whole day. So I like to respond. So when I find people like Richard talking foolishness, I like to challenge your foolishness. You tell me what your people did, or the government that you're claiming so great. You understand? You tell me what they did during that period that will warrant you to say no with all that's happening in across this country, housing schemes everywhere, farmers getting looked after, people benefiting that this is a failed state. Foolishness, Richard, and I will respond to people like you every time you come on this program or in person if you decide you want to have an in-person debate. All I ask you to do is be in fact, you could cuss if you want, but don't touch me. Me can touch you, you don't touch me, and we can debate um wherever we want to meet up. That's all I say. Whoever, wherever, if you all want to talk, let us get. But like the other guy, a couple shows back, no, don't send threats. None of that. Let me just discuss the facts. Me don't even care if you want to call me one and two names. You understand me? And indeed, we in there for the selling dreams thing. We want to hear what you're going to do if you get back in power and them shoppers. You want to know what you do. Tell the way you do. Right? You tell the way you do. And we could have a conversation anytime, any place.
But
That's
Cordell, they can't even make a promise because they were given a whole 5 years, despite that they deprived the country, the country a whole setback. They had 5 years, 5 months, and still they couldn't do anything. You understand? So even if they come to sell dreams, the dreams will not be bought because Guyanese see the true colors. And this, what is the most beautiful part about it is that the younger generation had the opportunity in
yeah,
this era here to see the true colors of the PNC, who they are.
right,
You understand?
right,
And the
right.
younger population would never vote for them. Never,
Kevon,
never.
Kevon, I only read about elections rigging. Teenagers, these people in school only read about Burnham and ballot box and them kind of thing. We only read and we see one and two YouTube videos. But 2020, we had the experience. We saw firsthand what people used to be talking about. What people used to come and tell me, no, they lied, it never happened. We see it firsthand. We see the barefacedness of people who lose something and outright tell you that they win it. And ain't got no evidence to show that they win it. So, hey, it's a different time. It's a different time. And persons not accepting that foolishness at all. I would use one, and I'll use Bartika again. Anybody could tell me one transformational project that happened in Bicycle 2015 2020. Please. Actually, and I told Del Rai this. I told Del Rai this when I was in Bicycle over the weekend. The only thing I saw there is the beachfront. That's the only thing that I saw there in Bicycle. They did a little sitting thing at the beachfront there at Bicycle. That's the only thing. Anything else, somebody please message me. My number is in the passing on the bottom of the screen. Any other transformational project, a significant, a major project that happened in Bicycle 2015 to 2020, just identify it. Please. I'd love to be aware. Other than that beachfront boulevard sitting area there. Any other thing. And I'm being honest, I ain't gonna lie. I told the lie, I'd never acknowledge it. But I want to be honest on this program. Other than that beachfront, I'm putting to you all who viewing here, the 100 plus. We ain't big like critic and in the ring yet, but we get in there. We over 100. Right? Other than that, there's nothing there for y'all to see. Then do over school, upgrade to the hospital, nothing. Housing scheme, nothing. At least they're hiding it from me because I see it. But that's it for me, Kevon. I don't.
All right, guys. So once again, we want to say thank you on behalf of Team Rap, myself and Courdel. We want to say thank you for your support here today and your time. We thank you so much for your continuous support, for a matter of fact. And like we always said, we are about facts. We would not come here at no time to mislead anybody. We come with the straight facts and information. So thank you for being here once again. Thank you, Abdul Samad. Said, great job, guys. Thank you, Abdul, as well. And to all who are supporting us. Thank you to Dario as well, Dario, for giving us, Dario always come with some advice and guidance. Thank you, Dario, because this is his fields as well. So see you tomorrow, same time, same place, myself and Courdel. And, we always going to be here for you. So thank you once again. Do have a blessed day and see you tomorrow.
This is Quincy Anderson. I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, Guyana is nice.